Before I hand it over to him, I do want to let you all know that we'll be here live for about 25 minutes, and we're streaming on Crowdcast, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube at Adobe Live. And we have moderators across funneling questions to us, answering questions that they can. But for any questions that can't get answered, since we're here for a very short period today, Phil and I will be hopping over to the Facebook Insider group immediately following the event, and we'll be going live there to answer any additional questions. So closer to the end, I'll drop those links in the pods for you all so that you can join us there. And without further ado, I'm going to hop in the chat pod. I'm going to hand it over to Phil.
Amazing, Sydney. Thank you. I'm so excited to collaborate with you, to collaborate with Adobe Express on this. We're going to keep this fast-paced. You're taking valuable minutes out of your day to hang out with us today. And it's going to be, I think, something interesting that we've never done before, Sydney, right? We're going to do like a little synthesis between like a little lesson, but I'm also going to be designing live in Adobe Express while I teach this lesson. Let me go ahead and share my screen while we kind of set the stage for exactly what we're going to do today. Right now, you should be able to see my screen. Give me a nod. You can see it. Beautiful. Welcome to part one of how to build $1 million brand. Sydney, thank you for that intro. I'm Phil. I'm a brand strategist. My job, in addition to creating content and partnering with some amazing brands like Adobe, I help a lot of my clients build their empires. So positioning their brand, building something to show for it, and promoting the brand that they work really hard to build. And so my recommendation, my favorite platform, online tool, graphic design, social media graphics, you name it. There are so many amazing things that you can do in Adobe Express. Today, live, I am literally going to design a slide to teach you some framework. Again, part one of how to build $1 million brand. Does that sound good to you, Sydney and friends?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a project type that I think is going to be useful for me. I selected logo in this case because I'm actually designing a graphic. It doesn't matter too much what I select. I think the best visual for this example is going to be a triangle. So I love the search feature. Go ahead and type in a keyword. As you can see, I've done there a few times. Let's find a triangle and set the stage, Sydney, for what we're doing today. $1 million seems like a lot of money, doesn't it? It seems like a huge, ambitious goal. I like this design right here. I'm going to grab this. So what I typically like to do is, instead of being overwhelmed by the $1 million number, let's break it down. So if it's $1 million yearly, what is that monthly? I've already done the math for you. Roughly $83,000 a month. It still feels like a big number. So let's break it down even further. I'm going to show you today how this breaks, how I recommend breaking this down into 4 steps. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with this little design. Because I can, I'm going to apply some of my brand colors and make this look a little more like Phil. That is super easy to do, by the way, in Adobe Express. Let's go ahead and adjust some of these colors. I like how this is looking so far. So again, this started out as a logo. But what I'm doing today, let me just highlight all of these layers. What I am doing today is, let's give them a little group. What I'm doing today is taking this logo design, and I'm actually going to break out each of the steps. So let's rotate it. There we go. There we go. I love these little guides that tell me, yes, Phil, you got it straight. Okay, I'm going to make some room on this canvas, and we are going to start at the first level. Let's whop this right into the center. So all I'm doing here, friends, is adjusting a few settings. So I'm going to make this my charcoal color. What I love to do when working in Adobe Express is to have my brand set up. So you guys might have already noticed that over here on the right-hand side, you'll see Phil Pallen. These are my colors, my brand colors. So I don't have to manually get them every single time. Super easy. I actually love how this font looks. So we're going to keep this as is. I might make it a little bit bigger and match this color, and we'll be ready to rock. So again, to review what we're doing here, I want you to break. So $1 million a year works out to be $83,000 a month. Okay, this is our ambitious goal for business. I know you're capable of doing it. So we're going to take that goal and we're going to split it into 4 groups. Okay, 4 groups of roughly $20,000 a month. Now that feels a lot more doable than $1 million. Let's start with the first group, which I'm going to call small. So anything in this first group is going to be less than $100. Okay, so again, we're calling this small. I say $100, but it could also be whatever currency you are using. I say dollars because I'm used to being in America, but let's say you're somewhere else. That's perfectly fine. So small, anything under $100. You want to create what we would call low-hanging fruit, something that's irresistible, something that doesn't make your customer or your client or your user think too much. Okay, so let me give you some examples.
I'm going to stop you super quickly.
Please do.
Super easy. At the bottom, there's a screen sharing notification, and I believe it says you can hide that. It says Crowdcast is sharing your screen.
Yes. Click to close message. There. Is that better?
I still see it. It says right there where your mouse is, a little bit lower, right there to the right.
Hide.
Yes.
There
Perfect.
we go.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. So we're talking about this first level, small. So some examples, Sydney and friends. Do you like that? I'm calling you guys Sydney and friends. You like it, you'll take it. So I would say an example here could be an online membership community, an email subscription. We're seeing these pop up more, not just emails that you might send to your audience for free. For example, I sent a whole bunch of emails this morning to my list to let you know about today. But now we're starting to see more that people are doing premium email offerings. So it could be $5 a month, $10 a month, and you get additional content, premium content. Could be an ebook, anywhere from $1, $5, $10. What else? An SMS subscription. We're also seeing this pop up more, right? Email marketing, SMS or text message subscriptions. These are all examples of things that would fall under this first category. So let's set some goals, because today we're talking about strategy. Tomorrow we'll talk about tactics, how to actually do all of this. So if you sold any of those examples that I just gave you at $30, let's say, you'd need around 700 members to hit roughly $20,000 a month. So roughly to hit that tier, that little check mark on our $1 million goal. How does that sound? Are you following so far? Do we have any questions? Do we have any comments? Do we have any concerns?
I think we're okay right now.
Good. Well, then I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and take this text layer, duplicate it, because I'm sharing my screen. It takes an extra second here. And I will click this down into place. And let's talk about this second level, which is going to be medium. Let's see here. I might have to adjust the order of my layers. Yes, I do. So let me go ahead and drag this. You see what I'll talk through what I'm doing here. What I did was I took my text layer and I selected duplicate. And that keeps it exactly the same layer. And that way now all I have to do is just click and edit the text. There we go. So up here, I'm going to type medium. This is our second group, medium. Now, medium is anywhere from 100 to, let's say, $1,000. Okay. Medium group. Let me just extend this box so that you can see the whole thing. And we'll talk through what's in this second group. So this could be a consultation. This could be a group coaching program. This could be sponsored content partnerships. Remember, you don't need to be a full-time creator to be partnering with brands to create content. Okay. Anything else in this medium stage? I would say could be a product. Physical product or a service-based product. Again, not your lowest offering. We call this medium. So $100 to $1,000. I also would include in here like a turnkey service. So video editing could be a service that you've got on lockdown, right? You've got a process for it, or maybe you've got your team working on it and it's fairly easy for you to do and to offer. We call that turnkey. Then that might be a good one for this second stage. Okay, the second stage we're calling medium. I want to call out quickly the design of this upside down triangle, I guess you want to call it, or funnel. Notice that the top is the biggest, which means it's the widest access point. Okay. The top level has the potential for the most number of people. And as we work our way down this upside down triangle or funnel, it's fewer number of people, but it's a higher number per transaction. Okay. So just keep that in mind as we go through here. Any questions, Sydney? How are we doing over there?
Yeah, we have a question from LinkedIn. Can you name other examples of the small group?
Yeah, I mean, I gave a lot of examples, but I can give some more. So let me pull up my notes here. Online membership, online community. So lots of apps that you could use. You could even use a free app for something like that. Like you could use a Facebook group. Obviously, they don't pay Facebook for access to that, but they could pay you for access to that group. What else? Ebook, email subscription, or SMS subscription. One that I didn't mention, a Patreon. Patreon is essentially a platform, a paid platform that allows you to give your fans or your super fans premium access, and it will look after reoccurring billing for you, and you can give them premium content. Another example I didn't mention, a paid workshop or a webinar. Obviously, today's workshop is free, but imagine I could do something like this and actually charge money for it. So those are a few other examples.
And then, are there any limitations for this tool as it is free? Which is a great question from Ram. I can say that there are tons of templates and Adobe stock photos and digital assets and fonts that are free, but there's a lot more options with the premium version. So you aren't having to be restricted at all when it comes to your designing. And feel free to add some more, because there's also some features like being able to schedule your content for social media so that you're not having to piecemeal every time. You can batch schedule, which is amazing, and it's huge if you're a content creator.
Yes. I mean, let me first say it's pretty incredible what you can do for free in Adobe Express. Exactly what I'm doing right now, you would be able to do this for free. There are some premium features in Adobe Express, quick actions. There's not all of them, but like, for example, changing the dimensions of your canvas and adjusting the size and such. There's some really, really good premium features, including content scheduling, which just launched a few months ago. And I am a huge, huge fan of being able to not only design, create your content in Adobe Express, and then in literally 2 clicks, you've got it posted or scheduled over on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So that's really handy. But I would say one of the best things about Adobe Express, there are a lot of great things, including templates. The design features are super, super sophisticated in this platform. It's from Adobe. Adobe is the design standard in the world, right? You might be familiar with Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign. Adobe Express is super cool because it gives us almost like a little flavor of each of those flagship apps and allows you to do it really easily in your browser or on your mobile device. How about that? Can you tell I'm a super fan?
Love it. We love it. Let's keep moving along.
Let's keep going along. So now we're going to talk about the large offering. I was working on this while I was talking there. Your large offering is going to be anything, not $1. I meant to say 1K here. There we go. Anything from, let's say, $1,000 to $5,000 in terms of your offering. So what examples do we have here? Let me give you some examples. So an in-person workshop would be a good example of this. Strategy calls. It's not necessarily just one call, but it could be, let's say someone buys 3 or 6 or 10, strategy calls or coaching calls with you. That would be a good example of that. What else? A long-term sponsored partnership. Maybe you're working with a brand to create content that promotes their app or service, and it's more than one video or more than one piece of content. That would fall under this large category. It could even be a photo shoot. Let's say you're a creative and you're rendering a service. A photo shoot, doing a photo shoot with a client would be a really good example of this third tier, what we're calling large offering. In this range, you typically need to sell, let's say $3,000. Let's say it's a monthly retainer for a service that you're providing for a client. You'd need about 7 retainer clients at that price to hit your $20,000 a month. I think I also didn't give an example of your financial goal for that second stage. Let me go back to that really quick. If your medium offering is $500, you'd need about 41 sales of that medium offering to hit that 20K goal. Remember, if you're joining late or you just need a refresher, what we're doing is we're building on this in each stage to essentially hit that $83,000 a month, which is $1 million or more a year. That's what this session is teaching you. We're taking that big number, which kind of feels like running a marathon, doesn't it, Sydney? It feels like, okay, it feels like an impossible goal.
Yeah, you have to take it in
Are
chapters.
here to break it down. Exactly.
Yeah, make it snackable. Yep.
Make it snackable. I love the food analogy. That's better than running. I want to eat instead. So, okay. So actually, I like the idea of just quickly reviewing our financial goals. So in that small offering, let's say $30 a month is that offering. We need around 700 members to hit that 20K goal. Medium level, anything from $100 to $1,000 per sale. This is going to be, I'm laughing at the comments. Love it. That's snackable. Yes. Yes, Jeremy. So that medium stage would need to be, let's say it's $500 you're offering. You'd need about 41 sales to hit that goal. Large is that third stage. This is between $1,000 and $5,000. I gave you some examples earlier. Let's say it's a $3,000 monthly retainer. That's an example in my business. I provide creative services, branding services for clients, and social media. So I would need about 7 retainer clients to hit that 20K goal, because these 4 levels add up to hit that monthly and then that yearly $1 million goal. Shall we move on to our final level? Sydney, should we do it?
Let's do it. And just let everyone know we have a little less than 10 minutes. So we have about 8 minutes left before we're going to log off. So make sure you get your questions in.
Love it. That's awesome. I love that you're keeping me on track. I think we're staying on track. I think we can do it today. I think we can end on time and leave everyone with a lot of really valuable info. I'm up for the challenge. Okay, friends. VIP is what I'm calling this final level. VIP. And I'm just going to put here $5,000 or more. Okay? $5,000 or more. So let's talk about VIP. Anything over $5,000. This is the top of the top premium, the top of what you offer or sell, product or service. And it has to feel exclusive. I told you that as we work our way down this upside down funnel, the level, the size of it is smaller, but it's a higher price per head. Okay. So it means there's going to be fewer people likely buying your VIP offering than purchasing your less than $100 small offering. And that's totally fine. That's the way we're designing this, but they're going to be paying a lot more money for your service. So let's go over some examples. Dura says, creme de la creme. Yes, Dura, you are exactly right. VIP, client retainer, is someone maybe who has more access to you than anyone else, right? It's that VIP client. They're paying for that one-on-one attention, that access to you. Could be a speaking engagement, right? It could be, a workshop. It could be a series of workshops or some kind of seminar, some kind of an event. It could also be a website. In my business, typically in this stage, my VIP clients are ones that I'm creating a website for. So in order to create a good website, I need photography. I need a brand identity. We have to spend some time writing some copy. So that's an example, again, of this VIP. It could be a retreat. There's another example I didn't have on my list, but perfectly acceptable. It could be a retreat. Maybe there's some like online events that lead up to an in-person retreat. That's something that someone would pay significant amount of money for. So let's say our example for this, because I'd like to give you some financial goals. We've gone through the others. I'll go through this one now. An example of this might be $6,000, a comprehensive coaching program with a weekend retreat at the end of it, let's say. Used to be that we had to do everything virtually, but now I'm starting to see, I don't know about you, Cindy, but all my friends are traveling in Europe right now, and I'm extremely jealous. Like everyone's traveling right now, except for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's traveling right now. And so I think I give this example now that we're starting to see people get back together in real life again, a VIP retreat, you know, that's a really good example of this. So let's say you sold this offering at $6,000. You would need 4 of those to hit that roughly $20,000 goal a month. So what we just did was we took $1 million a year. Now I'm kind of just reviewing here because tomorrow we're going to talk about tactics. Didn't have time today to talk about tactics. Today we're just talking about strategy. And now I'll review it and tie it up in a little bow, and we'll continue tomorrow. So to review, small, this is anything less than $100. Medium is in that $100 to $1,000 range. Large, $1,000 to $5,000. I gave you some examples. VIP is anything $5,000 or more. I gave you some goals. If you were to add up all of those goals, let's say we hit $20,000 a month in sales in each of these levels, my friend, you have earned minimum $83,000 a month. And if you can do that for a year, you have $1 million business as a creative, as a creator, content creator, as a service provider, as a product business. The framework that we've given you today is really applicable across multiple business and industries. Our goal is to plant some seeds while designing in this amazing, handy app that we call Adobe Express. Pretty cool that I was able to start, Sydney, with a logo template and actually create really quickly a diagram using my own brand. That was the coolest thing, is that I'm able to literally click, adjust fonts, colors. One of my favorite features in Adobe Express is the single click apply brand. Also, I mentioned earlier that you have access to all of the amazing features that Adobe has, like Adobe Fonts. Adobe Fonts is like the gold standard of typography and fonts online and for print. You've also, you've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. I think now over 200,000 beautifully designed templates. I grabbed one really quick for this example. Remember, we started with this little logo and I use this keyword triangle, but seriously, you've got some incredibly well designed and curated templates in this platform. If you have not tried Adobe Express yet, you must. It is free to try it out and to use the basic features, and even the basic features are amazing. So there's my little rundown of how to make $1 million. Did you learn something new? And also how to design in Adobe Express. And I know, Sydney, we're coming close to time. We'll have more, you and I are going to have more time over in the Facebook group to chat.
Yes.
Q&A and stuff.
We
Maybe
will.
talk about that.
We can, for anyone who has more questions, join us there in just a couple minutes. We'll be going live at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. I think we can maybe take one more question between now and then.
Yeah.
And I do want to remind everyone that you can watch the replay of this here at the same link. Once we're done going live, the replay will automatically show here. So you can always come back here and rewatch it. Whether it be that you are on Crowdcast right now, LinkedIn, Facebook, Adobe Live, you can always come back and watch our content again. And we will be here at the same time tomorrow, part 2, coming at you, covering tactics. So one more question before we hop off, Phil.
Yes.
And this one is from Dura. What are your favorite content scheduling tools?
Oh, good question. Good question. I would have to say Adobe Express is my favorite content scheduling tool. This is fairly new. I think, Sydney, maybe 2 months ago, max?
Yeah.
We, Adobe Express launched the ability to schedule your own content without even having to leave the platform. I love it. I've tried and I've experimented on my YouTube channel with a lot of different scheduling tools. So the fact, and this is definitely my favorite in terms of ease of use. I we don't have time to pull it up now, but I'll maybe queue this up for tomorrow. How about that? I'm going to queue it up for tomorrow and actually show you the interface. Super easy to create drafts, create unscheduled posts so that, let's say you're not, you want to post it, but you're not sure when. You can have it as an unscheduled post. One click, get it scheduled without losing the content or having to rewrite it. Super awesome and amazing. So I would check out the content scheduler in Adobe Express. That is my recommendation.
Great. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up here and pop over to Facebook. Cody Bear did drop the Ask Me Anything link in the chat pod. So feel free and click that, join us over, and we'll be on in about 5 minutes.
Perfect. See you over there. Thanks,
Yes.
everyone, for joining us. Remember, part 2 is tomorrow, tactics at the same time. We'll see you back tomorrow to talk about how to do all of this, and we'll see you next over on the Facebook page, link in the chat.
Awesome. See everyone there.